let us start understanding what is the significance of the different signs of IED. And the way I'm going to do that is that I'm first of all going to take a sort of a detour. And I will explain to you, or I should say remind you, of a couple of important concepts that we have already learned. So when we were discussing about the shifts of the demand curve, the non-price factors that can change the whole demand of a product, we said that income is one such non-price factor. And within that discussion, we introduced and learned what is meant by an inferior good and what is meant by a normal good. An inferior good, remember, we learned, are odd sort of goods, odd in the sense that these are those goods that when the incomes of the consumers increase, so we can use an upward arrow to reflect an increase, but let's use a plus. That would come in more handy. So plus means incomes are increasing. So inferior good, remember, we said, are those strange goods that when the incomes of the consumers increase and they become more rich, they start buying less of those goods. So the whole demand falls, it shifts to the left. So the quantity demanded, remember, we said at each price would fall, and therefore the whole demand would fall, it would shift to the left. That is, remember, we said is what is meant by an inferior good. And I gave you the example of perhaps public transport or second-hand used clothes. Poor people use these things out of necessity because, they can't afford anything better. So if they become more rich and their incomes increase, they buy a car of their own, so they demand fewer public transport. And when they become rich, they buy fewer second-hand clothes, they buy more new clothes. So the demand for second-hand clothes would fall. Inferior goods. And similarly, and the inferior goods, if the incomes of the consumers decrease and they become poor, then they go back to their inferior goods. They start buying more of it and demand increases. On the other hand, normal goods, remember, we said that they are normal goods because they behave in the normal, more logical way that you see when the incomes of the consumers increase and they become more rich. Normal goods are the ones where the consumers would buy or demand more of these goods. So you become rich, your incomes increase, you would buy more cars, more clothes, more of everything pretty much that you can think of. So usually most of the goods are normal goods. And when incomes fall, then the demand of normal goods falls. You become poor, you can't afford them, you buy less of them. So that, remember, we said were the two different types of goods we can think of, inferior versus normal goods, in relation to how the consumers react when the incomes of the consumers change. Now we can also introduce a third type of a good here, which we can simply call a necessity good or simply a necessity. Now whenever you have to think of a necessity, and just think of some life-saving medicine. So the reason we want to introduce this product necessity here is that, you see, if the incomes of the consumers of a product that is necessity increases, then what would happen to the demand? What would happen to the consumers of the life-saving drug if they become more rich? Well, if they are patients and they require a couple of tablets every day, they won't start buying more since they are rich. And on the other hand, if the incomes of the consumers of a necessity such as a life-saving tablet, if the incomes of the consumers fall and they become poor, then you see, if it's a life-saving tablet, then most probably they will give up on consuming some other things, but they will still consume the same couple of tablets that they need. So the important thing that you need to take away from this example is that, look, a necessity is a sort of a good that whether income increases or decreases, you don't change the amount you are consuming. You keep on consuming the same amount. So there is no change in demand, zero change in demand, and therefore remember the percentage change in demand would also be always zero in case of necessity. Now again, remember, we are just developing a theoretical way of thinking about these things. Maybe there is a little bit of change in demand when incomes of even necessities, consumers of necessities change, but it's a theoretical way of building up something important that we'll get to. So as far as necessities are concerned, as far as A level is concerned, remember, when incomes increase, the demand does not change at all. Now, how does this all fit in with the concept, the idea of income elasticity of demand, and what I told you about the sign that it is very, very important? Now, to see that, just assume that the incomes of the consumers increase. Let's assume there is a boom, there is a lot of economic growth, whatever the reason, the incomes of the consumers increase. And let's then assume that in that society or that economy where incomes are increasing, you happen to have all of these three different types of good. You find inferior goods as well as necessity as well as normal goods. Now, first of all, let's think what will happen to the demand of an inferior good, and then we will move to this formula of income elasticity of demand. So if consumers are becoming more rich and their incomes are increasing, they would buy fewer inferior goods. The demand would fall. Now, if you apply this formula and try to calculate the income elasticity of demand of this inferior good, what you will end up with is that since the income is increasing, so that would be some positive percentage change. And since we are talking about an inferior good, the demand as a result would fall. So the percentage change in demand would be a decrease or a negative. So you will end up with an answer to this calculation which will have a sign which is negative. Now, the other possibility is that maybe the incomes are falling. In that case, you will have a negative, a decrease in income, but it's an inferior good, and therefore as a result consumers will buy more, the demand will increase. So you will end up dividing plus by a negative. Again, you will end up with a negative answer. So from this, always remember that the sign of IED, when it is negative, that reflects that we are talking about an inferior good. On the other hand, let us go back to this example where we said the incomes, let's assume, have increased. Now let's consider what would happen to the demand of a normal good. Since incomes are increasing, normal good is where the demand will increase. So if we try to calculate the income elasticity of demand of a normal good, when incomes are increasing, consumers will buy more, the demand will also increase. So you will end up dividing a positive percent change with a positive percent change. You will get an overall answer which is positive. Similarly, you can think of a decrease in income. If income decreases, it's a normal good, you will buy less, the demand will also decrease. Again, the overall answer will be positive. And therefore, you always need to remember that if the answer to the income elasticity of demand is positive, then that tells us that we are talking about a normal good. And similarly, you can next think of a necessity. If incomes have increased and you look at a necessity, then the demand won't change. So if you try to calculate the income elasticity of demand of a necessity using this formula, when incomes increase, the demand does not change. So percent change in demand would be 0. And 0 divided by anything is always 0. Similarly, if incomes fall, there won't be any change in the demand for a necessity. So 0 change. 0 divided by a minus, again the answer will be 0. So from there, always remember that if the sign of IED is 0, that tells us that we are talking about a necessity. So this is how we can use this concept of income elasticity of demand to identify different types of goods. This is the question that you will get very, very often. How can you use the concept of IED to identify different types of goods? Maybe sometimes it's an 8-mark question, sometimes it's a 12-mark question. Now always remember that at least 4 or 5 marks will be just for explaining, okay, IED tries to measure the responsiveness of demand to changes in income given everything else is constant. We compare the percentage changes, you throw in the formula and tell that greater than 1 is elastic and so on and so forth. So that's the first 4 or 5 marks. And then you just need to explain that, looking at this formula, if we are looking at a case of an inferior good, then as incomes increase, demand will fall, so IED will be negative. So negative sign of IED helps us identify an inferior good. Similarly, if incomes increase and demand does not change at all, IED will be 0, and 0 will tell us that you are talking about a necessity, and so on and so forth. So very, very frequently repeated question, and therefore this is the main thing that you need to know about this concept of IED. The value, as I said, is not very important. You just need to know the significance of sign and how it allows you to identify all of these different types of goods. And as far as the value is concerned, remember I said that there is one small important use that we can make of this knowledge of greater than 1 means elastic or responsive demand to changes in income. So that use is where we can identify a fourth good, and it will come in very handy in what we are supposed to do next. Now, luxury goods, things like cars, things like eating out in restaurants, things like going on foreign vacations. If you think about how does the demand of luxury products change when the incomes of the consumers change? So let's assume incomes of the consumers increase. How would the demand for these luxury products respond? Now, first of all, it's easy to see that, look, demand would most likely increase. If you become more rich, if you get an end of year bonus, maybe you will buy more things that you consider luxury. So luxury goods, they would always have an IED which is positive. Incomes increase, you buy more luxury, positive over positive. So sign of a luxury good, and the sign of IED of a luxury good, it will always be positive. But then we can also understand why the income elasticity of demand of a luxury good would also be greater than 1 or elastic. To see that, you just need to think about the way you would use a bonus that, let's say, you get at the end of the year. Now, if you get, let's say, half a year's salary as a bonus, let's say you get 50 lakh rupees as a bonus or whatever amount. Now, you won't start consuming a lot more food items that you do in normal everyday routine. You won't start using more cooking oil. You won't start using a lot more petrol, because all of these things are necessities you were already consuming as much as you had to. So maybe you increase a little bit more, but not that much more. Whereas, think of what you would do with this bonus and what you generally would see people doing. Buying something that they usually don't buy, a luxury such as a car, or maybe they go on a foreign trip. Now, the thing here is that if you are, let's say, earning 150 lakhs, now I'm just making numbers up over here, and you get a 50 lakh bonus, then probably you had a couple of cars, now you buy one more car. It's just one more car, but given you initially just had 2 cars, in terms of percentage change, your amount of cars you are buying is increasing by 50%. So big percentage increase. Similarly, if you had never gone on a foreign tour before and getting a bonus, you go to your first foreign tour. So the percentage increase, since the starting value is 0 and then you go on to your first tour, the percentage increase would be almost infinite. 1 divided by 0 into 100. So I don't want to go into the details of maths. I mean, all I want you to you can say, memorize is that luxury goods, they would have a positive income elasticity of demand that would reflect their normal goods. You buy more when you become rich, and the value of this elasticity is also greater than 1. That reflects that the percent change of demand is quite a lot as compared to the percentage change of income. You would get a 20% bonus or 20% increase. You get your first car, a massive percentage change in demand. Now, all of that story, if you have understood it, fine. Otherwise, the crux of it that you need to remember is this, and this will come in very handy. These 3 are more important, but this will come in very handy, that you can also use the value and the sign of IED to identify a luxury good, because when IED is positive and greater than 1, that is income elastic demand, as well as positive IED, that tells you that we are talking about a luxury good.